There it is. Yeah. Hope y'all saw the fly land on Mike Pence's head last night. Go vote. So, here's what we're doing. Um, Waiting for the map to load. No, so I want to like redo the code in the hand model, which is like any item that's held in the hand. There's all the code for combat is in there, and it was just this big pile of mess. So I'm here to show off some methods of reformatting stuff so that you can go from Pasta Sinclair to, I don't know, something neat and efficient. But I want to show you, well, first of all, Unreal Engine has my computer. I can hardly use Discord right now. Maybe Discord has crashed. No, Discord's just being weird as well. Hopefully the stream is still on. The dashboard isn't responding. Just letting the map load. I want to show you what somebody said. Oh, it's really consuming my computer right now. I'll give it a minute. Okay, yeah, so EasyBoy455 was commenting in the chat yesterday that somehow all of this makes me look very organized. So I'm like, yeah, okay. But I guess going from crazy mess to not crazy mess will do that. Everything is like completely lagging. Look at that. This doesn't usually happen. Or if it just hasn't used... I haven't opened the map in a while. Probably has to... Maybe building a derived cache. Alright, come on. I'm changing the name of the game to Immersia because Fey Lands is a book series. Alright, here we go. It's still... There's some. Okay, so this is the latest that I've done. The one on top is how far I've gotten, and the one on the bottom here is what's left, which of course will... Oh, there we go. Is it good now? No, of course not. Why does this stuff always happen on stream? I guess the thing is, usually I just press the button and walk away and come back like 5-10 minutes later. Boring. Alright, fast forward to play 5 minutes. Hey, Will. Oh, this is most unusual. I don't know why it's taking forever. I'm gonna try closing browsers. I'll leave that open for now. I haven't changed anything. I guess it could just be that it's been a couple months, so there's nothing stored. I don't know. Yeah, it's good to be streaming. However, stuff like this only happens when I'm streaming. Considering just crashing it and trying again. Maybe it got froze when I was doing stuff with Discord and OBS. I could just get straight to work. I didn't need to load the map. That's the thing. Not using it today. Control-Alt-Delete is taking time to load too. Something's up. It's still working. 9 gigs of memory, 10 gigs of memory, 30 megabytes disk. Not responding, but it is doing stuff. 86% CPU. Did you check out the new assets for this month? Yeah, I did. I've not imported them yet. But there's some good looking stuff there. I like the... Did you see this like async load level menu that I found too? I posted it in chat. I'm gonna need to take use of that. So you see here. Oh wait, it's no longer... It's done? Are you done? That's weird. It was on there a minute ago. Unreal Engine don't exist anymore. There it is. It's back. So it's working. Oop, bye-bye. Yeah, check out in the Discord. Let's throw a Discord invite while we're at it. Here, just hanging out. Waiting for this to load. I can't do anything on the computer. I wonder if this would have happened had I just played the game. If it would have been frozen forever. I think I posted it in Unreal Engine 4 or 5. Is my voice coming through clearly at least while it's doing this? I think it's getting to the point where I'm just going to have to close it. I want to just try it again, but I think I'll just do this again. Yeah, EasyBoy455 goes, shit, bro, you are really good at organization. What version of Unreal am I using? Well, it is 4.25.1, so I suppose there could be a problem with that. But I'm not going to go and update it right now. I'm trying to do work here. Oh my god, my computer's like frozen. Come on, Epic. Give me my computer back. Oh, I can move windows around now. Also, the line of sight visualizer someone posted. Oh, it only thinks Notepad is open right now. Alright, UE editor. 65% CPU. 6 gigs of memory. Maybe it's slowing down. What is it doing? Shader compiler. It's compiling shaders. That's why. Alright, I'm just going to have to let it run. That can take a few minutes. At least it explains what the heck's going on. I don't know why. Why would it have to compile all the shaders again? Ah, that can take like minutes. Answers are found. That's nice. I don't really need to do that though. Like, I just wanted to work on the graph. But like, I always click the thing just to Alright, I guess I could just take care of some extra things, like grind some herb. That's important for the day. Still using 424.3 because it's been stable for you. Yeah, I just can't wait for 426. Did you see that water tool? The rivers and lakes that you used to know? TLC reference, 1996. Um, that thing looks amazing. I want to put it so like you can use the flow of the water as some sort of gameplay mechanic. Like I was thinking faster flowing water is safe to drink and stagnant water isn't. Some stuff like that. That'd be fun. I don't want shaders right now. But I mean, the thing is, I do need to like test that the hand model works once I'm done. So maybe it would be good just to have it ready to launch either way. Now my mic died. Okay, looks like it's still coming through. Um, yeah, I had it plugged in all night. I guess if the computer's off and disk and like the power is turned off and the surge protector's off. You haven't seen the water thing, bro? Also in the Discord, but check this out. Ryan Brooks getting all heady in the talking. Kind of skip through it a bit, see what they're doing. Ah, it's done. Huzzah! All right, we can work. I'm just gonna go open it up real quick. Look at that. Now it's doing building mesh distance fields. Still compiling shaders down there, but at least I got my computer back. And model. So, good thing about this. Alright, weird thing about this is that I'm making the graph look better by adding a bunch of variables. So, like, doesn't that make the memory more? It has to, like, carry all of this stuff. No, they're just floats and bools for the most part. They're pretty straightforward. But if you remember what the combat graph used to look like, I've now completely changed most of it. I haven't changed any of it, really. I just flattened it out. Uh, did a little less flattening here, because there's more, like, branches and options. But here's where it starts. If you do an attack that's queued, you have the option to bypass the queue. So now we're starting to use the first variable here that, even though it's right here, I just disconnected those wires and put the variable there. Here too, just to make it neater. Oh look, here's a couple. Oh, that's because we're setting these. Just, they're setting them all early. That's unnecessary code, I believe. So I'll just get rid of that eventually. Hey, Kenny Zuniga. It's been such a long time. How have you been? Yeah, like, doing pretty well, all things considered. I think having a great girlfriend makes a difference. Good moral support, good activities, good productivity. We built a door, like a big door for the living room, dining room passageway, so I can separate it and have that part of the house like cordoned off as a Airbnb. So that'll be soon, finally. Been kind of putting that off. I like clean the house and stuff. Or not even, just putting it off because I'm procrastinating and the world is terrible. But things are looking bright. So, I am gonna grind some herb real quick. Just takes a moment. And continue kind of scanning through here a bit to show you what I've done. So this is basically, this first half is client side all only. So this is owning client. And it's not only, it's run on the client. It might also run on the server if they're the ones doing it. And we're just going to check a bunch of stuff. We're going to run this. It gives us all of our basic attributes. This I need to clean up a bit too. This is a bit hodgepodgey. But this gives you, this gets the character equipment, reads it, sets the stats, checks if the right hand, left hand have parry, block abilities. Various options for which way it branches off. If you're not enough energy, no valid target. Queued ability hits the round timer. That's awesome. That's so many branches. Yeah. This is if you're attacking too fast and the round timer hasn't even finished yet. So let's say like you have some speed enhancements, but you still have a round timer because of stamina. Speed is based off of here. The attack type multiplied with your attributes and your items speed. So eventually we get to play the attack animation if everything is successful, and server continue attack. And actually, this is just going to client play attack animation and multicast attack animation. This way, the client's going to see their ish immediately. I wonder if that multi-fires ever, if like the anim notify. Okay, well what happens is it'll play the animation, and if the animation hits an anim notify, then we're going to check. Now we're on server. Once the anim notify is like halfway through the swing, now we're going to check this again. Spaghetti code here. Yeah. So we're going to get the combat attributes again, and then this is new, where I'm basically, instead of just branching the wires off wherever I need them, I'm just going to set them as variables and then use them elsewhere. So we're going to do a stamina subtraction, which involves your spirit and item speed. We're going to get your stats for evasion, parry, and block the target's attributes. And this little logic here makes it so block is stronger against heavy attacks and parry is stronger against fast attacks. Un momento, por favor. At some point there will be other mob types maybe, but I do have it so that you can hit interactables. This is the first one, so that way you can attack the saving shrine and save the world by slapping the shrine instead of praying at it, in case you're atheist. Gotta respect all belief systems. And then that one would just jump. This used to be a white wire that jumped all the way across here, so I'm just like, okay, jump to print attack damage. This is just a little node here, all the way at the end, that goes, okay, we don't need all that stuff if you're just attacking an item. This same thing here, critical miss is jumping forward from attack roll, you know, little attack roll. And we have this little get roll needed to hit, little mini graph, so saying if you're in combat mode or it's a back attack, you need a higher stat to hit. This is for stats in combat, yeah. Kind of like a debriefing, you can see what the systems, how the combat itself works out. Get some kind of idea of how you might build your character in advance. Because hit or miss, on a miss, we're going to go up here, same as critical miss, and we'll print target, gets the attack result, and then we'll do determining whether you missed because of a dodge, or the armor, or the shield, or the weapon parry, or whatever. So I'm subtracting each one of those in turn and comparing it to see if it's lower than that defense skill, agility, armor defense, so that depending on the results, we switch on what defense mode that person is in and play the corresponding flanging off of a armor glancing blow effects right here. So if you miss because of defense skill, we'll go to the dodge parry block and we'll play a dodge parry or block animation. If you miss because of agility, we're going to play the whoosh because they dodged. And if you miss because of armor defense, it'll go to the clang. And if it was way off, you missed by 30 points, then we'll just whoosh. Hey yo, Nemo, what's up, man? Long time no see. Stream quality does not reflect game quality. Am I excited for UE5? Yes, I am. I can't wait. I have all the player models, player buildings, build a city in the game, and it all renders. That would be nice. Of course, the actor count might be a problem still. We'll see what they do. So let's go back to here. So that's misses. That's how we determine if the miss, what kind of miss it is. We're going to get weapon damage, base damage, max damage. So we have a range, and we're going to check. So we're actually going to roll. This is the raw damage. This is actually base damage, random integer in range. We're going to check if that base damage was a third, 2/3 of the possible damage. So you have basically small, medium, and big hits. Medium damage, big damage. So yeah, because those get set to off if it's false. So those get set every time. I was just checking. I'm like, is that going to stay on? No, because the wire. It's not on the branch. We get the attack speed again. Doing it slightly different here. I don't know why. This is where it starts to help to look at these things like, can I do speed way back here? Well, see, I'm getting it, but that's for the stamina subtraction. Okay, I'm jumping ahead, though. Let's see. I think I did jump ahead. I jumped ahead a whole bunch. Oh, yeah, I did. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, if it's an interactable, that's what we did. We do the damage, and we jump to print. If it's not, we're going to check if it's an animal. Just leave this little bloop here for use later. Get attributes of self, strength, cunning, and finesse. Do the combat 2-hit roll here, which is going to be 0 to 100. And if it's less than 5, it's critical failure. If it's more than your crit chance, 100 minus the crit chance, then it'll be critical hit. And the crit chance is coming from finesse. So finesse is literally your crit chance. The more you have in there, that doesn't make sense. Is that what I did? Oh yeah, max range clamped. There it is. So from 0 to 100, you get 0 to 25, and we're subtracting that. So a 100 finesse will give you a 25% crit chance. Yeah. Did you separate the levels in chunks to improve performance, or what are you doing to do? No. In my opinion, it doesn't improve performance the way it's set up. It's very circumstantial use, because in this case, all of it would still be loaded on the server. And I suppose it might be better for clients, but then you have a lot of issues of pop-in as you go from one to the other. You have to keep track of a lot of stuff about which actors belong to which square. And a lot of it's automatic, but from what I've seen, I'm not trying to make the world's biggest map. I might actually end up shrinking the map a little bit. I've been thinking about gameplay. And it's not that huge, to be honest. Slurp. All these games that I'm seeing come out lately have way huger maps. Like I was running around Conan Exiles. Huge, huge map. Not, it doesn't need to be like that. I mean, compared to mine. I think that might even only be the size of one continent in my game. It's hard to tell, honestly. Alright, let's do some actual work. This is fun though, going through this real quick. Jump to critical failure, if that. Then we get stance logic, so depending on what stance you're in, you're going to get a range of 15 to negative 15, modifying yourself and the target. This is that big nasty chunk that I had yesterday, or I had before. Let me pull it up in the Discord so you can see what it used to look like. Yeah. So, as you see all these wires here, I just changed them into variables. So that was this area over here and this area here. So what it's determining is basically, start from the right, kind of. So based on the targeting area, and then based on the target defense method, we're going to get that attribute and pass it forward, that their parry, evasion, or block, and pass it forward to be that target's defense skill. If it's a back attack, defense skill is 0. You can't defend from the back. So let's say, for example, right arm. Is a left hand a shield and a parry? Well, then we'll jump over to left hand defense plus if parry is greater than block, we'll pick it. If not, we'll pick block. So you get left hand defense plus parry or block, depending on which one's higher. If it doesn't have both of them, then is it a blocking? Is it a shield? Then we'll take the block plus the defense. If not, then we'll go, well, what about the right hand? Is it parry and shield? And then we do that kind of logic again. You get the right hand defense. So this, I'm a bit fuzzy on this. Well, that's the right arm, that's why. So on left arm, we don't involve the right arm. You're just going to block with the left. But the right arm, you get to block with the left first, and if you don't have anything, you still can parry with your right arm. So let's say you're using a rapier. So right arm attack has a chance, which is what we're going to get into here. What this stuff is disarm by critical. Because what happens is when you hit with an aimed attack, you get another 2-hit roll, and this determines if you get a disarm, a cripple, or I wonder if I should do that again for like extra head damage instead of it just being automatic. So you could hit critical failure. 2-hit roll greater than 2-hit roll needed. True, false. See, this is the next mess that I have to work on. This is gonna be fun. Um, I mean, calling the level texture streaming plus LED stuff helps. Yes, it does. I remember quite a few years ago you were messing around with rock asset packs. Yeah, a few years ago. I still haven't made like mining in the game yet. Um, so essentially that's what that stuff is doing there. It's determining based on which place you're aiming. So let's say again the right leg. If the target is crouched, if the target is not crouched, then hitting their leg will make them use evasion. If the target is crouched, then they can block. Likewise, yeah, that's basically it. So if you're a dodging person and you see someone's trying to cripple you, you might crouch so that you can dodge their cripple blows when the time is right. A little bit of depth. And then what happens here is we're going to say, based on the targeting area, say, I think this is the same exact thing. I think I just did the logic twice, and I just never... Oh, okay, so I use that not for the numbers. I'm using this just for... Oh, there I am getting the skill for cripple and disarm, defense type against. So, like, these are kind of superfluous. This targeting method, an alternative logic, they're doing the same thing. I've got target is crouched. They're redundant. I did this so that I could get rid of this, but I never finished implementing this. So they're both being used right now. Just gonna move on. I don't want to fuck with it. I'm here to clean, not to code. Oh boy. Typical me to talk about non-UE related game tech. Developers wanted to casually mention recently discovered Clara rules and how it can be used to ease game logic development. I don't know what Clara rules is. You want to tell me about it? You missed the last 5 minutes, you're banned, WR. Go back and watch, and I'll wait. I'll sit here for 5 minutes. That's it. Mic is off. Everybody has to wait for WR to catch up. I'm just kidding. I'm going to take a hit. And I'm tethered right now, so I'll be right back. Okay, so like one thing I do want to get good at is just logic concepts, like how to do really good for loops that can do complex logic. That's what it's all about. So if there's some tips about that, completely academic level and not applicable to my game, um, yeah, I'll check it out. Thanks for the tip. Let's see. Clara rules. Is that like Clara, like Claro, Clara, the Spanish word? Clara, Kerner Clara rules. Forward chaining rules and closure. ClaraRules.org. Oh, okay, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be relevant for me. Alright, so get your weapon skill. If you're using an inanimate object, we're just going to have 0 skill. Barroom brawls. Now, the skill effector, this is a Dark Souls concept. You get your weapon's attack bonus and the weapon type. And now your weapon plus skill. Weapon skill plus effector. So, you got your skill. We're going to divide it by 10. So we have a number between 1 and 10. We're going to multiply it by your skill effector of the weapon divided by 10 times 2. So 0 to 20, or something like that. Divided by 10. Oh. Yeah, divided by 10 times 2 times this. Maybe the effector is 0 to 5? I feel like that's a 0 to 10 thing. Anyway, minus 1 times 10 divided by 2 limits effectiveness of skillless weapons. Man, some math I've done in the back. Love my other work. Oh, what other work? You watch my movies? Crazy. Who does that? No, I'm just kidding. Feed my ego, please. No one ever compliments my shit. Some weird movies. But basically the idea here is that the skill effector is saying this weapon is really good in the hands of a skilled player, but so-so if you're not skilled. Or this weapon is pretty good no matter how much skill you have, so it's a good noob weapon, but you might want to graduate to something that requires more expertise later on. It's from Dark Souls. If you know about... I don't remember what they called it. Was it skill effector or something like that? Somehow this logic made sense to me. Let's see where I'm using it later. Okay. Strength divided by 2 plus the weapon plus skill plus effector divided by 2. So the average of skill effector plus strength plus yourself plus your targeting. This gives you your offense. Alright, so I'm going to summarize what I'm doing here later. But basically I took all of my components of combat like I have in the text. Offense minus defense plus equipment plus bonus equals total. And I've chunked them into variables, and then each variable is getting set independently, and then I'm actually adding and subtracting the variables to create the total. So the text will match precisely the math, because they are one and the same. Before I had the logic done twice. I had like a little separate copy of the logic over here just to get the text together. That's cool. I kind of want to know what the hell is going on with this. So I guess skill effector. Let's look at a weapon real quick. Wait a second. Oh no, this is... Weapon stats should be here somewhere. This is it. No? Maybe it's not. Oh, it's not in the hand model, is it? The stats are on the item. Yeah, here it is. Skill effector 6. Okay, so we are going from 1 to 10 with that. I honestly have no idea what I was thinking here. I thought this would make total sense when I look at it, but I'm like, I guess. So let's say you have a 6 in skill effector and a 75 in skill, or 80. Sorry, so we have an 8 and a 6. Oh, 6 divided by 10 then would be 0.6 times 2 would be 1.2. So 1.2 times this. That makes sense, actually. Somehow, that worked. Like a 6 skill effector sounds like you'd get a 1.2 out of your skill. And then you'd add 6 minus 1 times 10 would be 50, divided by 2 would be 25. So then we're adding 25 to that. 1.2 times 8 plus 25. That's effectiveness of skillless weapons. I think this is giving like a blanket bonus to anything. So let's say your skillless weapon. You have a 10 in skill effector, minus 9. Oh, wait, minus 1. No, that's I forgot the decimal. So that's 0.6 minus 1. Oh, that makes it a negative. I see. So 0.6 minus 1. Yeah, minus 1 would be negative 0.4. That's easy. I thought I was thinking 1.2 again. Negative 0.4 times 10 would be negative 4. Divided by 2 would be negative 2. So you'd subtract 2 from this. But let's say we had a 2 skill effector. Divided by 10, you get 0.2. Subtract 1, you get like negative 0.8 times 10, you get negative 8. Divided by 2, you get negative 4. So you subtract 4. If we had a 10 skill effector, divided by 10 would be 1, minus 1 would be 0, times 10 would be 0, divided by 2 would be 0, would be minus 0. So, actually, wait. 10 divided by 10 would be 1, minus 1 times 10. I think this needs to be clamped at like 0.1. So that we will always have a value there. Let's say if it's 9 instead. 9 divided by 10 would be 0.9 minus 1 would be negative 0.1 times 10, negative 1, 2, negative 0.5. So yeah, the higher it goes, the less it subtracts. Is that right? Like a 2 was more? I'm going to clamp that just so that the 10... There we go. So 10 divided by 10 will be 1 minus 1, negative 0.1. 9 divided by 10 would be 0.9, minus 1 would be less. Okay, so no matter what, they should be less than 1, or less than 0. Okay, let's just add that in there. Impressive with how much it's grown. Here's where you take your leave. Have to keep doing more of the projects and testing. Well, thanks for swinging by and chatting. It's always fun. That's why I'm here. I could just work on this by myself. I probably would have gotten more done. But I like showing it off. And look, I found a thing. So that's good. So, based on what type of weapon you use and what type of armor at the targeted location, so based on which target area you're aiming at, we'll get the equipment there and we'll add them up later. First, we're just going to check what type of armor you're wearing there. It's nothing cloth and leather, chain, or plate. You get different reactions from the different weapon types. So for example, a two-handed polearm is going to do better on plate, but a one-handed short sword will do worse. Meanwhile, a two-handed polearm isn't necessarily going to do that much better against cloth and leather. I mean, it's still going to be fine, but other weapon, one-handed short sword will have a little bit more of a bonus. I put big ones in here for plate because there's going to be a lot of armor involved. So this is where a lot of testing is going to be involved, but this is a place for balance, and this is where the crux of the rock paper scissors of the game is, where there are things like daggers and stuff that can get through plate mail, whereas so it's not really, it doesn't really make you invulnerable. It really makes it more like, oh, the people have to choose what weapon to use against you, pole arms and stuff like that. Like, see, daggers have a bit of a one-hand dagger has a bonus against plate. Pole arms, two-handed axes. So then we see, based on each of these defense things that I have here is the defense rating of a different piece of gear. So if you're targeting the chest, you're going to get the combined defense rating of any hauberk, gambeson, and plate armor. If you're targeting the arm, you're going to get the shoulders and gauntlets. If you're targeting the leg, you're going to get the leggings, greaves, and sabatons. And head would be helmet. So your actual armor score is based on where the attacker is hitting. So if you're only wearing a helmet and they attack your feet, no armor bonus. I want to add stonedness in here too. Not right now, but basic concept. Drunkenness makes it harder to hit, but do more damage. Stonedness would make it easier to hit, but do less damage. So yeah, here's where we get our various variables that we've saved throughout all of this period, all of this setting of variables. Now we're just going to get all of them and just do our little magic here. Strength to hit plus skill plus effector, average those. Add your stance, add your targeting penalty. Yeah, let me just double check this. I know I looked up all of these when I was doing them. Yeah, so if you're targeting the head, you're going to negative. Yeah, okay. Drunkenness, and that makes your offense total. And same with defense, as the target's agility, plus defense skill, plus, well, actually, wait a second, minus stand. Oh yeah, because it's the same thing. With them, it's minus because their positives and negatives are the same. Let me show you. So, also a negative 15 for defensive. So if they're defensive, you're... Wait a second. Yeah, that's why I'm minusing it. So this will add to their defensive rating. And then what we do later is we subtract the defense from the offense. So all their defense numbers are positive in their benefit. So if their defense is high, they have a negative, we're going to subtract that to make defense high. Then we get our equipment total, which is the weapon attack bonus, the weapon versus armor bonus. Weapon attack bonus is just what the weapon itself, its stats do. Like if it's better at attacking or parrying. Then you get the armor at target area, and that's what we calculated earlier, and all that together will be the equipment total. And your bonus is going to be elevation, high ground, minimum, maximum of 10 bonus, depending on how high up or down you are. Actually, I might want to extend that range and clamp it or something. What was the thing? Map? I think I want to map that value real quick. So z minus z. So if you're above them, you'll have a bonus. So let's map this. Maybe up to 500, 1,000? It's a decent range. So if you're way up above them and you're shooting, you're way out of sight. I think we're going to have to go with maybe 500. That'll map the range to -10 to 10 of what the bonus is, based on how far away they are. So being inches away will be a little less important. Because if it was only 10 to -10, like it wouldn't matter if you went 5 yards away. The only thing that would matter is if who's like 1 foot above each other in a duel, which is kind of cool. But I thought about it, and it'd be like a little bit too much just like constantly strafing around trying to get like 1 inch of high ground. This would make a bit more sense. If you can get up to 500 above. I'm thinking maybe I should clamp it a little bit more, like 20. Because then, like, yeah, melee range, you still get a good bonus that way if you're above them by like a few units. Like if you're, let's say you're 80 units above, you could still probably hit them. Like if you're on a ledge at their height of their head. Yeah, I'll try that for a bit. Let's see how it goes. Then your movement. If you're moving, we're going to get your vector length of your velocity, and we're also going to, oh wait, so if it's greater than 0, you get, oh, if you're standing still, you get a bonus 10 to hit. If they are standing still, you get a bonus 10 to hit. If they're moving, you don't get the bonus. If you're moving, you don't get the bonus. So if you're both standing still, the attacker gets a plus 20 to hit. Um, Combat skill against animal types. So this is where the leveling in the game is really going to be huge. This right here, essentially saying you have a level against each animal type, each monster type. And so if you fight 100 wolves, you'll be really good against wolves, but you suck against deer. And you go over to the area that has wolves and deer, and you get your ass kicked because you're doing fine against the wolves, and then deer come in and kick your ass. So you have to go hunt deer by themselves in a controlled environment to get better at them before you can go hunt the area that has wolves and deer together. Penalty to the hit if you're swinging a big attack, because it's slower. And then we're just going to add those all together in the right way. Do the combat roll check I showed you earlier. Add them all together into the print string. Man, you see how much they're fucking is? I showed you this. Combat text, hit or miss, critical miss, weapon damage. Okay, I started showing you this stuff, yeah. I did this. Critical hit. If your back attack target is not in combat mode or just actually got a critical hit, then you'll do crit damage. Check for heavy damage animation. So this is where I'm using big and medium damage to say, okay, did you get at least medium damage? Then did you get big damage? If not, then we'll do medium damage. If not, we'll do small damage. So we have different lengths of hit reactions based on where they're hit. So head, chest, legs, and arms give different hit reactions based on the intensity of the hit. Also do that with the okay, that's the hit reaction for animals. That's where we use that. Oh, I should just use the is animal thing there. And we're going to find out if it's a player or AI controller and do some different stuff there. And this is basically where I stopped. This is where I'm going to take like 2 minutes break, just step away and come back and actually do some cleanup work. So yeah, starting to figure out, well, is this the final damage or is that the final damage? This has to come out, I believe. But look at all that draped underneath it. So this is coming from targeting area. So based on this, we're doing different types of disarms and stuff. So it might be easier just to sort of one thing at a time. Usually what's easier is to take these. That's where I was. So actually, maybe this can go up here, rather. And then what's this? This is just crit damage. I can start with this real quick. I'll show you what I do. So first, I'm going to clear this with Alt left click. And I'm going to Control W to paste a new one in here. And then plug that one in. I think there's a way. Let me do that again. You can have the mouse on here and press Control W? No, it just puts it there. I thought I saw there was a way to like automatically have it plug in. Well, you can do that by dragging it. You can do that. So, multiple ways to do it quickly. But then now we have this guy. We can drag it over to the next instance of it. Just do a quick Control W. And now you don't want to just do this because sometimes it'll keep both of them plugged in, and then it's a pain in the ass to disconnect. So that's why I disconnect first. But here I knew kind of select color isn't going to allow. You just keep these things just like subconsciously. It's like riding a bike. You just kind of get a feeling for which ones will, which ones won't. Okay, so that takes care of some of the red wires. It's so much cleaner already. Move that up there and move the red wires. Yeah, so I'll just come back here in a minute. Take another hit. Grab my coffee. I'll be right back. All right, still with us here? Probably not. Well, let's see. Get a little bit elbow room here. Need that elbow room. Gotta stretch out at the desk. Proper posture. So, targeting area. See what can be like. This needs to. Let's clean this up first. Look how many wires are there. So, this, for example, this will plug them both in. See that? So that's an annoying one. Gotta do one of these. This is also annoying to me. That I have this. Can I do this? Okay. See, now I have to like do another selection thing. This will probably do both. Yeah. Okay. I'd rather disconnect. I don't know if I can though. If I can control click. No, you can't do that. It's really annoying. You can't like grab all those wires and plug them in here. Nope. Just gonna have to keep going through it. I mean, I could have them connected, but it won't make a difference. Still have to do all this. Pain in the assness. Oh, and it's still plugged in there. I didn't do this right. Here's where I need the music. Some D&B. I think this is a D&B kind of morning. Let's hit it up. Let's see if I still find. Now that I remembered that it was a Common, Creative Commons video. It'll show up. Oh my god, is that the one? I think I found it. Should I used to watch all the time?
Yeah. 1 2 1 2. You know what I mean? No.
I want that studio one. That was really good. But it just like disappeared.
Yeah. 1 2 1 2. You know what I mean? No.
Someone give me some feedback on music volume levels while we do this.
Sounds of a DJ Weldy. Yo, shout everyone inside. Old time Moni. Old time Mr. Smith Rambo. Old time Ben. Yeah.
Annoying thing is that
Yeah.
the front cable has to be plugged in right now, so it's like got this dead weight on it.
What? Yeah. Sounds of a DJ Mikey B. What they call me? One line LP, you know me fucking dirty. I'm older me. 132. We love a DME. We coming on the place. Smash the party. Old time Moni. Old time Smithy. What's up right now? So they get to Rowdy. Who's been DJ? Little Mikey. What they call me? That's Smithy me. We're back together with the one LP. And King Moni with that Muppy me. With that Dirty Weldy.
I don't know why I love this shit so much. It's like British accent set to music.
Yes, boys. What's going on, people?
See, I already made these variables. These wires are actually going all the way across here before. Look at me walk. YouTube chat isn't updating before you wonder why no one's talking. Isn't it? YouTube chat on here. Oh, it did. It did disconnect. Let me check that. Ah.
Yes, mate, we got Warren.
This is all for combat. Alright. Yeah, this music is fire.
Yeah. What's going on, people? Yeah. Whoosh.
If I can just go to the chat on a different website here. Am I still streaming properly? Yeah, I remember the username. I was just like, how do I get that then? I want to fix restream. Maybe I can... It was working before. Read only. Oh. Connected. Error. YouTube live chat not found. Okay. I don't know. Maybe I'll reset the chat. There we go. Alright, so that's gonna stay up there. Actually, I think we might want to reroute the exec wires. Everything is going there. Oh yeah. And I think it's still disconnected from the key. Alright, should I do an event here? I think this is gonna need an event. Or I can just do... Love this shit. Alright, so all those are going up there now. Like a little bit more room here, so it goes in the right direction. What's this? What are you doing here? Both these. Small item. I think you should use an event. Can't name it the same as a variable. Jump to damage output. So it's fixed now, yes.
Why not? Well, that's a proper sausage fest here, man. Like. Hey, boy, LP there in the back, you know me. Slay, boy, we don't deal with no dirty. Hey, boy, LP CP there in the back, like every day, boy. Like, hey, boy, what boy? LP Liverpool top boy. Come to the rock, I'm a Liverpool one, you're a Liverpool one, Liverpool top boy, not me. Nah, the these are standing tall. These finger, the back boy. These finger, LP they call me the leader. What? Just it boom, boom. We slap it down there. We slap it boom, boom. Yes, we slap it down there. Cause we love the girls with that medium rare. Food, no hair. We really don't care. We slap that fucking boom, boom. Yes, we slap it down there. Cause I love the girls that want that medium rare. Yeah, better beware. Just tell them I'm there. Better back now, come up in here. Better go to this shit. Yaga, yes, he is a yaga, yo. We're tearing up the world, tearing up the fucking show. Oh, yaga, yes, he is a yaga, yo. Here we go. Yeah. Hold tight, styling in the place, man.
It's easy to keep track of where multiple things are going to the same place. This is very catchy. He is. This is like 2 hours of the same shit over and over and over again. Looks like this is like fucking 20 people all crowded in a room 2 years ago when we could do that thing. All like talking very loudly in each other's faces. It's like rolling a joint in the middle of the room. Like, hey dude, you're right in front of the camera. So much bounciness for the vocals.
Yes, boys. Hold tight the Facebook gang, them locked up. We got the bossy. We got my crew. We got the gang, the band, the TTC soldiers. And the Simon Madness. Yo. Right. Here we go. With the big Listen to my bike, I'll be straight from jungle. Hit me, what? Hit me, no, yo. Little pussy, yo. Yo. Right.
This is printing the damage to each controller separately. Target made a critical failure while attempting to assign. It should say target. Say enemy. Nice beat. WR, how's your music production going, man? Still doing it? I sat down on the drums for like the first time in months last night at like 10 p.m. And I was like, well, I can't hit the snare, and I can't really kick, so if you know the term feathered, I was just kind of like lightly tapping the foot drum, not like for a beat, but just like some sort of 4 on the floor kind of vibe, and just going haywire on the cymbals, just like all the fucking crazy hand tappy rhythms. I was having so much fun, and I'm like, oh my god, my need to be silent has unlocked a new style of drums for me. It was very fun. So expect some new recordings eventually. Alright, let's set these. Oh, these only really come into play here. I finished this first.
Yeah, we got the massive inside today. Getting out the tune line. We got the Facebook crew locked in, locked on. Right about now, yeah, we got the Wolvers. All trying to break. Yeah, we got the crew there. Hope it's flew them. Yo.
The actual disarm makes the character just drop it. One of the first things they program in the game where you can drop something, disarm just makes you drop your weapon and just jump straight into that logic. Drop right hand. Isn't that awesome? It works too, it's so fun. Can't wait to actually do this with some people. Did it once with, I think, Cessifar. We tested to make sure it worked. This is the controller. So I'll plug this up. Okay, I'm getting like real locked into this because it's like repetitive, so I like the physical, so I'm just taking a couple extra stretches here and there. We can look at these mad lads for a minute.
Alright, what's going on here? Alright, we got Froggy. Hold tight the Massive, hold tight Zoe. We got the Facebook gang. Right about now we're gonna get lively. Enough men up inside, sausage fest business. Ha ha. One, yo, when the beat up makes your drum, when the mic gonna get the move on.
Pretty sure he just called it a sausage fest. Yo, listen. Listen to the information. I can't understand the station. Such a bomb occupation. Intimidation, reputation. Roll up for the man of information. Stop on my attention. Keep on watching exhibition. I'm beginning to recognition. But the man come out and has the function. Get that information. I'm trying to take a break from it because it was getting kind of tedious. A lot of music is just the same beats, just slightly twisted different. Totally, dude. I think it's time for you to delve into odd time signatures and stuff, my man. Let me show you this really cool video. Searching YouTube.
What? Arsonist is a missionist, herbalist and a vocalist, specialist and a terrorist, never gonna be on no ears, so the group is holding to
You
the
know Adam
review.
Neely?
Bullseye that I produce that boo, everything that's true, you can take the rendezvous, so the target in the regime is true, MC test gets through, represent the truth, don't come
So check
through,
this
you
out.
know who, when I come through, Moldy must in the mic for you, brand new, hold on, Robin in, roll
I
that
don't
shit,
think
roll
it's
that
sent
rap in, who's
to
in the bar, running the
YouTube,
ball?
my chat. But yeah.
Yeah, ring dinger, yeah, ring dinger, linger, yes, ring dinger, ling. Yes, the Wells, guys, the Westland Wells. Peninsula.
Inventories, because I still remember your struggle with object-oriented base program. Well, the struggle was in understanding it. Once I understood it, it's really kind of simple. It's actually, the logic I use is very straightforward. I'm just doing a lot of it. Yeah, Adam Neely is this awesome YouTuber who does really, really heady, brainy, sciencey music stuff. And it's not just like odd time signatures. He talks about like frequencies and shit. One of my favorite things is where he describes how the wavering that happens between two notes, and that creates a chord, right? Sort of, or like a third or a fifth. It creates a distance between notes. Is the same like frequency as odd time signature compositions, like 5/4 or 3/2 gives you. Oh no, what the fuck was it? I guess it's when you have the 3 notes, it creates like a weird waver, right? You have 2 notes, it creates an even waver. You get 3 notes in there, it creates a weird waver. The polyrhythms, you know, it's the exact same thing. So he mapped out all of the chords to the polyrhythms that match them, and like I want to write a song like using that just as the grounding, just like musically pure, if you will. But it's insane stuff, and the way he demonstrates it is so cool. No, what do they just open? That's why your controller again. Double clicked on that by accident.
You're small boy, but the mic boy, not tall boy. It's LP standing tall boy, track the mic and dance like a ball boy. Think you're big boy, you're small boy, but the mic boy, not tall boy. It's LP standing tall boy, track the mic and dance like a ball boy. Think you're big boy, you're small. Help in the back, standing tall. I'm a shot in like a ball. I'm running into the ball. Think you're like a bear, bony trigger. Think you're like a bear, sissy, trigger, bang. Pull that trigger. Who's that there? Liverpool killer. Killer. DJ Wellesley. 6 foot tall. Fucking healthy. DJ Wellesley. It's a DJ Wellesley. 6 foot tall, man, you're not in sexy. DJ Wellesley, it's our DJ Wellesley. We love our D&B, we're coming on the place and then we get you lively. Dirty Slapper, tell them I bend you over. My sofa, now you love it longer. Girl get what, that the chopper. MC Boney, on the mic. Gonna get your one coffee, get hyper. Chop up on the rhythm, chop it on the border.
I don't know if I'm ever going to have another mob type besides third person looping. I don't think I'm going to base anything else off something different. They're all going to have stats and stuff. So I'm going to just start getting rid of that concept in general. So this target is a singular entry. It's just, I don't know how to explain that. I can tell when something's going to be one or not. But like, I guess functions more likely to me to accept multiple, because then it will operate the function on each of them, sort of. You'd have to see it to understand it, as it sounds very complex. Well, check out that last video I just linked. That's kids' music in odd time signatures and other strange concepts like microtones, quintuplets, mixed meter, free time, additive meter, tempo canon, metric modulation. There's some cool shit that you can do. Like, if you're getting bored of music, that means you're about to get really good at music. Like, the combat music in Baldur's Gate 3, I'm listening to it, I'm like, and this is in some crazy odd time signature shit. Diablo 1 music is some crazy music theory shit. There's so much cool stuff to get into once you realize that you don't have to stay in the same key the whole time. You don't have to stay in the same meter all the time. You can do weird groupings of notes and make actually interesting rhythms that are fun to follow along to and actually just sound like normal music once you make it good enough. Once you have good melody in there, it's just like, that's why Tool's so good, because you can tell there are odd time signatures, but you could just nod your head to it and land on a note every now and then and be satisfied. This is looking a lot better already, but I just duplicate this.
Yo, 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 yo. I don't try Smithy, yeah, rolling. I don't try Boney, ain't try LP or Crew. I don't try Rambo, yeah, DJ Rousey stepping up on the deck live. I don't do Vincho. I don't try Solo, yeah. I try Wolfie. I try the fucking Mikey B-line. And as we come down, we have to set your voice down. We have to rinse out. Yo, yo, yo.
I almost feel like showing some of that now. Like, I've got enough drum and bass over and over again. Yeah, okay. Let's show you. I didn't even finish this video, but he did like a TED Talk. Let's see if he has that on here. Well, actually, that's not the. He does a better video on his own. Maybe that's it. It's just a longer.
So this talk is not just going to be about polyrhythms, what they are, how to perform them, but also we're going to try and connect polyrhythms to other things. So on my YouTube channel, I have a show that I'm now calling New Horizons in Music.
I'm shut up
so
a little
this is going
bit.
to be the first live episode.
Well, listen
I
to this
hope you
guy do
enjoy.
it. Skip the intro.
All right, so that was an introduction animated by Simon Franzman, really funny guy. Anyway, so we're going to start with an introduction. So, on my channel, I get to explore a bunch of different topics, and one topic I explored recently was something that is very near and dear to my heart.
Okay, I don't want the live thing. I want him actually is near his show. Is it just this 8-minute video?
Hey everybody, Christian McBride.
Okay.
Squared tells us that mass and energy are the same. E equals mc squared tells us that mass and energy are the same thing, just on massively different scales. This is similar to the musician's theory of relativity, which says that rhythm, melody, and harmony are the same thing, just on similarly massively different scales. What exactly do I mean by this? Well, buckle up, Alice, because the rabbit hole goes really deep on this one.
Yeah.
Scientifically, pitch is defined as the total
awesome.
number of vibrations per second measured in hertz a given waveform pushes against the air around it. If a waveform repeats regularly over a given period of time, we perceive that waveform as having pitch. This is called periodicity. Think about the sound of a fan starting up. In the beginning, you might not actually hear any pitch, but as it goes faster and faster, you start to hear a perceivable tone. The regular rotation of the fan blades means that the fan has the necessary periodicity to produce a pitch. I can repeat this effect in a digital audio workstation. I have here a kick sample that's playing a simple quarter note kick pattern, and it has the necessary periodicity to have a tone when we increase the speed. This is nothing too shocking for us. In fact, it just confirms something that we all
So, one thing to note here is I only have one wire going into each of these. I don't know if this function would return the same exact result each time. So, luckily I'm only... Although I'm drawing from it 3 times. It's not a pure node. It's a function. I think that means it would be permanent, but I also feel like maybe this should be a variable. But I don't really need it. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Instinctually know, whether it be from motors or fan blades, when something goes faster, it increases in pitch. The mind-blowing aspect of this is when we start to apply this to harmony. What if I told you that harmony is nothing more than just fantastically complex interlocking polyrhythms? What if I told you that harmony literally is rhythm?
I don't believe you.
In order to understand this idea, we need to break apart the fundamentals of tuning and intervals. Intervals are the distances between 2 pitches, and historically, these intervals could be described by simple ratios. The pitch frequency measured in hertz of a perfect fifth means that the top note relates back to the bottom note by a simple ratio of 3:2. Let's see how this plays out in the real world. Back to the bottom note by a simple ratio of 3:2. Let's see how this plays out in the real world. I'm going to take the note G, and I'm going to play a perfect fifth higher than G, which is D. So on the D string, the D has a vibrating length of about a little bit more than 22.5 inches. Now the scale length of this G string is about 34 inches. It's a 34-inch scale bass. And if you do the math and multiply a little bit more than 22.5 times 3:2, which is the ratio for a perfect fifth, you get 34 inches. Yay math! All intervals can be measured by the simple ratios. A perfect fourth, for example, has the ratio of 4:3, and a major seventh has the ratio of 15:8. You can see all the basic ratios for the intervals of the major scale in this chart. Polyrhythms can also be described by simple ratios.
Exactly what that
the 3:2 ratio of a perfect fifth, when reinterpreted into rhythmic notation, is nothing more than just a 3:2 polyrhythm, or quarter notes against quarter note triplets. You can reinterpret literally all of the simple interval ratios into rhythmic notation this way, and then you get this beautiful chart full of all these crazy rhythms.
So this is the chart that I want to actually base some music on. But, yeah, it's some 9/8, 5/4, 4/3, 3/2, 5/3, 15/8.
Notation this way, and then you get this beautiful chart full of all these crazy rhythms. Don't believe me? Well, check this out. I have here all the intervals of the major scale and their corresponding polyrhythmic ratios.
So here's the cool shit.
And if we zoom in to say on C and E right here, we can sort of see visually that it does represent a 5:4 polyrhythm. For every 4 attacks of the kick drum on the C, 1, 2, 3, 4, there are 5 attacks on the kick drum for the E. And so if we listen to them soloed together, we can hear a 5:4 polyrhythm. And then if we speed that up, we hear a major third pretty clearly. And so we can actually do that with...
Isn't that awesome? So he goes on and on and on, but that's like the basics of it. Check that out too. I'll put that link in the chat. This guy Adam Neely is awesome. Okay, more drum and bass.
Only, yeah, long time no see. Fucking gap at the edge, boy. Hey, what boy? No boy. Got to take control, boy. Love them older ladies. Glad living in joy, boy. Hey, what boy? No boy. Got to take control, boy. Love them older ladies.
This red wire going across here. Next to Boolean, left hand valid.
We gotta get the voice back. And that's like roots out. Yo, 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 Shadow.
Got money with bomb, see them message run. Went off in this up, I look around and they're all gone. Just tell me what's the point, man, in me carrying on. Got for too many lyrics, that are lyrics I've heard on. I said, stick him up, I get it gone. Shoot with him to ammunition, coming on massive with an emotion. With a watch out, but he used off motion. No man, that's way too long. 5 minutes to the right, they're strong. Walking him and I'm gonna make this one. Rolling because of the microphone. Said it knuckled our star, balaclava. All the MCs, just it's game over. On a mission with a man to come and get ya. Yeah, Shadow's coming out darker, boy. Yeah. How's your music, DJ Welty? Myself, Devoni, trying to get high.
See, this is one really needs organization because I can't. That's a target. Okay, let me clarify that.
Part of the crew, they're for the me. Me, I mean celebrity. First and right, they say MC, get the back of the tank, and the double somewhere. Do the bassy on the door mat. Put them in the beat down, with the back, get over self, get over self back. Never done this, never done that. Hit you only get a vocal map, for the back, never somewhere. LP, only get again.
Okay, so instead of normal notes and chords, it's a polyrhythm graph where you added the same note together over and over for a different sound, like for instance the fan he spoke of. Yeah, so like any kick drum sound effect over and over again at an even frequency. If you speed it up, it sounds like the fan. It becomes a note. So depending on how fast they're going, the note will change, right? So if on the two different parts of the chart, we had a slower and a faster one playing at the same time, and they were just mapped out to be exactly like one of them's playing 4 notes at a certain length, and the other one's playing 5 notes in that same amount of time. And so when you increase the speed of the notes played, the frequency, you're increasing the frequency of the note. You're making a higher pitch. But they line up perfectly with polyrhythm to harmony because they are literally the same thing. It's just measurements of 3 to 2 and 5 to 4 and stuff like that. And so you can just do the same thing with rhythm, and the rhythm is the notes. It's just like... But that's not even like... You need to know about like doing odd time signature stuff in the first place. Yeah. Super hype mode. See if he does what he has about odd time signatures. Not just like the crazy ones, but like actual normal ones. Oh, here, check this one out. How to play music with a drunk feel.
Whether you're switching back to work mode or school mode, Optimum sets you up for success with 300 meg internet.
Ew.
The 1978 action comedy film Drunken Master features Jackie Chan training in the style of Kung Fu known as drunken boxing. It's based on a more or less real martial art, which mimics the haphazard and chaotic movements of a drunk person with the aim of confusing opponents. It apparently requires a huge amount of core strength and concentration to pull off the drunk act convincingly. Now, personally, I can't help but think of the parallel there to the aims of modern drummers who practice in the so-called drunk style, or Jay Dilla style of drumming, which aims to replicate the glitchiness of early hip-hop production.
How did he make it sound so messed up? He's like, because he didn't read the manual in the book.
Drummers like Chris Daddy Dave and Questlove were some of the early pioneers of doing this style live on a drum set.
I managed to turn, like, into...
This particular style of drumming is most associated with the late 90s hip-hop collective the Soulquarians, who included people like Erykah
That's
Badu,
a whole lot more
Jay
going into
Dilla,
the sound of the engine,
D'Angelo,
but
and Common.
the pitch,
but
as you get faster.
Well, it's everywhere.
So check this out. This is in like 5/16 or 5/8 or something like that. It's like a 5 count in the really, really small subdivisions.
So one way to do this is to take a basic backbeat pattern and then slightly uncouple the snare or the kick drum from the hi-hat to create a sort of a flam. What you can then do is take the second hi-hat, the upbeat hi-hat in a given beat, and move it over to the right, delay it a little bit to give it a little bit of a swing.
Look how much better this looks already.
Congratulations, you're now ready to make lo-fi hip-hop. There's a little bit more to it than just that. If you want to go deeper, there's a great blog post from Brooklyn Rose Ludlow that analyzes specific pieces of the hip-hop repertoire and drum programming. Link is in the description. It's pretty thorough. Okay, so why does this work? The music is off the grid. By some accounts, it's out of time, the rhythmic equivalent of playing out of tune.
I have too many comments almost.
What's the secret? The secret, of course, is repetition. Repetition legitimizes. You play something wrong once, it's a mistake. You play something wrong twice, it's music. Twice, it's music. Twice, it's music. Repetition legitimizes. Twice, it's music. Repetition legitimizes. Twice, it's music. In a great article on music cognition in Eon magazine, Elizabeth Helmuth Margulis wrote that repetition serves as the handprint of human intent. The intent here is, of course, capturing that particular feeling of being off kilter and maybe a little off balance. And after all, what is more human than not feeling centered?
The sloppier that you deliver it, the more heartfelt and human it is.
So the way that a lot of drummers do this live is they feel out exactly how much each beat gets pushed ahead and pulled back, which can require a phenomenal amount of concentration to do regularly enough to make a convincing groove. However, instead of approximating, you can divide the distance between the kick and the snare into precise odd-numbered groupings known as tuplets. Quintuplets divide that distance pentamerously into 5 evenly spaced pulses. Because there's no way of dividing 5 evenly, the groove will naturally feel lopsided, giving you that sort of drunk feeling.
Yeah, dude. And try odd time signature. I know for music programs, you can just tell it, be like, okay, beat in 5/8 or something like that, and just fill in the notes and just make it sound good. Just go.
Groupings of 5 are very much.
Let me show you something I did. For example, I played this before, maybe on like a computer. Let me go to the oldest songs. Scrolling. It's loading very fast. All the old stuff. So much old stuff. Almost there. Okay, here it is. So this is some crazy odd time signature stuff I just plug in. Might be really loud. How about that? But yeah, check this out. This is some crazy odd time signature shit. I don't even. This is like 12/8 maybe. It was like 3 bars of 4 in triplet. So it's not even that crazy, to be honest. Let's do some crazy shit like this, man. Listen to some Aphex Twin. Alright, I'm gonna promote this to a variable. Yeah, just in one sitting. It's literally like a bunch of shit copy pasted over each other. There's the 4 on the floor to give you the time signature. It's one instrument besides the drums. And I just used like some default drums that came with some shit. Just like loaded in a few packs. Sit down, slap some shit together, make it sound good. It's a mellotron too, that's probably why it sounds so nice. It's just like a beautiful instrument. It's a sample of a thing recorded to tape and then re-sped up for each note. So it's like one recording of a flute, or whatever this is, on tape, and then like, it's a synthesizer to emulate this. And there's like a little bit of a click to when the note starts and stuff. It's just like a cool old school instrument. Beatles used it a lot. I always love tap dance. The reason why is I have such great sense of beat timing. It's crazy. Yeah. You gotta listen to Aphex Twin. Let's just put some on. I'll probably get the copyright strike slapped down. Oh, but no, he has SoundCloud stuff. That's right. User 180819771. Just listen to some random shit. I don't know what this even is. Alright, that's spooky. This is a good track. Turn it down a bit. Pretty loud, right? So what is this? Is what I want to name it, is the question. It's like, is this failure? Crit success with a stun length. Stun length. Cooldown of cooldown is attack speed. What else does this come to? I guess just disarm crit, disarm success. Disarm, stun length. Yeah. Got your attention immediately, that's cool. Alright, so alt click there, control click, control click here, and then here, and then that's put this in here. Now this should go to all of these. As you can see, the white wire flows to these. This is just 4/4 too. This isn't even any crazy shit. He doesn't usually do odd time signatures even. He just has a lot of like crazy rhythms and stuff in the light sounds, like in those little clickety, swoopity, like snippety, snoopity sounds, little like sort of hi-hat sounds, but even quieter. He just does a lot of cool shit there. Sometimes he just goes crazy, like in like super fast and like weird noises going all over the place in that range, in like the hi-hat area. That's what he's like well known for, is just like insane percussive rhythm, I guess. Okay, looking better. This is almost looking complete. Almost. This is still a little bit. Why don't we stack this up a bit vertically? Keyboard is really awkward sometimes. Cold fingers too. It's a chilly morning. Let's see. So fix AI add to round timing here, but like, does this not work? Some of his stuff just sounds crazy, and some of it sounds beautiful. It's so funny how he goes back and forth. He's like these two genres, like super experimental, and then just like epic. I'm gonna see if this has any drums in it. This is just all strings for a while. Jesus. Yeah. I'm gonna listen to this one. How's that look? What you think? Should I do some more here? These comments aren't really necessary right here. I'm not using this for multiple areas. You could comment the block instead, might be a little bit more readable. Oh man, this feels like such Half-Life 1. I can work with this at least. What do you think? I'm actually kind of surprised I got here even. Let's do the other couple of places, like there's the check armor at target. That's fine. That looks pretty. But there's this other graph. I'll continue working on this, because this is a bit messy, as I was noting. So let's start from the beginning. We got a couple controllers getting passed through. So we've got instigator, main player controller, and main AI controller. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if they're... I don't want to cross variables up here. So let's see if we have before here. We have client, self, third person, blueprint. I think it looks solid. Cool. See, like, I have some of these variables being created here and not being used. Yeah, outside here, I'm using like another one. So I just want to find that here we've got AI controller and player controller. Let's do that first. That's the problem. Take that chunk out right before this business. So we know we have valid references and we can just grab those instead. Now I can just get those references. And use the is AI thing too. Boom. Okay, getting better. I can just use these references. Yeah, see, that's going all the way across here. Here comes that snare. valid. I should just copy this instead of having it go twice. See, that's the beauty of it. You can just keep adding shit into the messy pile as you're working and pulling stuff out. You just like take something clean out, put the messy stuff back in, and just keep extracting until you've got nice wire coming out. Like that Tool music video, Schism. You're going to pull the little red thing, extract your beautiful code. Mwah. So much better. So this is saying target not valid because this is unchecked here. That's one of the first things that it goes to look at after this event. And they're saying, I forget why, but yes. I could just use isAI here. That's what this is determining. Just duplicate this as well. There we go. Don't really need to do that. I've got targeted actor. That's targeted actor. Client targeted third-person blueprint. This is a nice chill track. This little stray boolean here. Get that into. There we go. It's an extra reference on here. Oh, here's a problem. This controlled upon reference. I already have client self third person blueprint here. Let's use that from here. control pawn reference is going to be valid after it. Controlled pawn isn't clear enough anyway. Like, let's just replace all of those. Can I replace automatically? Oh, but then it's client self. Controlled pawn. This might be a problem here. I think I want to replace these instead. Go back to using the replicated one. I might just change the name of it. I'm going to replace the set that I do earlier as well. It's silly to have a different reference for client use and server use, to be honest. If I could just keep track of when it's properly replicated instead, just when you switch a server, make sure you set it, essentially. What's up? Just put it all in a collapse node and call it a day. Instantly promoted to moderator. Okay, so back to this. Yeah, welcome. Your name looks a little familiar. I don't recognize your icon there. And then again, I may have just known a lot of Jean-Lucs in my day. I think I want to promote this to a variable. in a lot of places. If it's a back attack, okay. John Luke 123 on the Discord. Oh yeah. All right, cool. I'm like, the name sounds familiar. Oh yeah, you're up there in testers with the cat. That's right. You've actually played this, or you attempted to. You signed up at one point, at least. I think I only put people in that category if they actually played it or something. You gave some feedback at some point, right? I don't know if played is really the right word, more like walked around and took a look at. They say man's eye can detect motion, woman's eye can detect color. So yeah, I'm just basically seeing like where is it connected to. Like, okay, all of here. I don't see any stray wires going elsewhere. So actually, yeah, right there should be good. Made a couple of characters on both factions and tested out some stuff. It's so cool. I can't wait to actually give you guys some content to play. 2 hands you can grip with because you were planning on having that VR functionality. Well, it's convenient for VR functionality. Let's put it that way. I have played it in VR technically. I didn't have any functionality. All the graphics were set to bottom end, and I was disconnected from my character, but I was floating above him, and I could press keyboard buttons to run around. I actually mounted up and mounted and ran across the countryside in like a third-person perspective in VR, and I was like, this is cool, but not performant, but possible. Something to work toward. Oh wait, this is used on both sides, actually. This doesn't need to be client back attack. Back attack. Let's replicate that. And let's, when we come out of it, on the server side, back attack question mark. Right. Why not? It's just a boolean. It's like the lowest amount of data you can waste. I'll allow it. Back attack, back attack. It's gonna get very confusing though. Can I convert it to a local variable? That'd be better. So you can do this. Right click it. Replace. I know there's probably a way to do it in bulk. Let's just see where else I do this. There we go. Now it's a local variable. I won't confuse it with the one that. Let me change your name. I have to compile it. It's still... Maybe it has a space. There we go. Alright. Shit. Where was... Ah. That was this one. What am I even checking here? Got range here. Vector forward vector dot product normalized vector location minus targeted world location less than negative 0.6. Okay, one of these is if you're facing the enemy, the other is if you're facing the same way as them. That's what that is. Okay. So this is just facing target. Promote to local variable. Facing target. Okay. Notice I kind of have no idea what any of this stuff is as I'm moving it around. I'm just organizing. Oh, this just doesn't make sense, but the wires flow, so it's like, oh, these don't. Just making sure. Okay. There we go. Fuck. do this better this time. There we go. That was faster. Looking better. This is still a mess in the middle here. It's just like any wire that goes backwards makes the mind recoil. It's like, now it all... Rainbows on roses, whiskers on kittens. These things are just in the way. What is this? Maybe I should comment that one thing. Okay. Now, what's the difference here? That's range. That's range. Oh, right hand and left hand. Okay. Could just be unbunched a bit here, essentially. Yeah. Okay. I can show that to people. Time is it? Only 10:30. Okay. Probably gonna give myself until around noon-ish. I got some errands to run. And I'm actually out of menial tasks that don't require too much brain work, which is annoying because that's what I want to do. I can't believe it, actually, to be honest. I guess we could test it. That's scary. Watch, it's not going to work. But I don't know. Let's see. Saving all first. Animation blueprint needed to save. That's weird. Alright. Okay. So, like, I want to check the map. I want to see how many players are online. I guess I can do... Online, there we go. You're just watching from your PC. cool. I'm connecting. Oh, this is messed up. It still says that default stuff. Okay. This one's not letting me choose a character. Maybe because I connected at the same time. This dude's over by the save thing. Most peculiar. That one's like not connecting. I don't see the AI here. Oh, there's one, that's good. Don't know where the others are. Need weapons if we're gonna test this. Alright, he's here, that's good. No, this one is just buggy. That is weird. I'm gonna have to mess around with that. Why not? Let's get a Mercy Strike Dagger. Very peculiar that the AI isn't here. They might have gotten stuck chasing some skeletons or something. There they are. Both stuck down here. Right, okay. Can't climb. Oh. Okay, well, I mean, I could attack them from here. Hey, it works. Hey, it works. Huzzah. Let's see if I can, like, ow. Target that right arm. Let's disarm you. See the clanging off the armor, the parry. Switch to parrying as well. Oh, there you saw a parry. So I tap the numbers to fill in the queue of what attacks I want to happen. The round timer shows me how much you're taking. It's not... Oh, there it goes. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Okay. There you go. Blocked that user. kick my ass here. But yeah, everything works. I'm getting hits in, but I'm hardly doing any damage because, you know, he's high level and stuff. Defense of 50. I leveled up and died. He's still trying to get. Why can't he? Oh, I have to put stowing of items in order to climb back on the AIs. I made it so you can't climb with an item in your hand. I forgot about that. Maybe AI should be able to. It's either that or I program the logic of stowing weapons away and then taking them out as they stop climbing. Okay, that's what that was. Thinking about how that would work. Like check the size of any items, any containers on self, and then stow them. I don't want that to happen on tick. Alright, well, let's see. I could save the world. I wonder if I can save it as a free spirit. I haven't tried that. No body. No, I can't interact with things. That would not be good. Maybe the altar could automatically resurrect you if they're in town or something. It's also something to think about the details of. I am concerned about this not connecting. Maybe just because I connected the first time, they were just bugged from then on. Maybe because I connected both simultaneously. Okay, here we've got. Yes, okay. Yeah, it was probably just because I connected both simultaneously. All well and good here. He has a multiplayer game. Go to him. Bring player to you. There we go. Now kiss. Shake head no. Emotes all working good. Focus. Why not? There we go. That's a client. And this is another client. Can we duel? Are we all... Oh, that... Just as yes, we can duel. I have a client-to-client duel. Fight. I don't have a weapon. I will fight with a letter. I don't think it has stats, though. No. Let's see, okay, I'll drop a dagger. Oh, no, I didn't save the dagger. Does this guy have a... Nobody has shit. Alright. I'm gonna go... The Weapon Master. Quartermaster, whatever. Get me a couple daggers. City Knife. Versus... Ah, fuck it. Morning Star. I don't have a trade system set up yet, so I'm just gonna have to drop this on the ground. Right, obviously the ogre will take the morning star. Oops. Okay, looks like Drow lucked out. Split screen, battle to the death. Look, the perspective is all funky here. Alright. Wait. Why are they? Oh, they're. Oh, we're all in the same faction. Damn it. Drop the dagger. Change character. Oh no, I can't be on the opposite factions on the same Steam ID. I forgot about that. Can't even test PvP right now, technically. I have to go in and change that. Oh, pain in the ass. I'll have to put in a system to become the outsider faction so that I can start testing PvP. Okay, so none of that was saved. Okay. I think I'm gonna continue doing the sheaths. It's a mind-numbing activity, but I can just get it done. Oh, I have no idea how far along I was or what. Which I guess I was going from the models. Yeah, I think I do want to set myself to doing that. Then I will add new gameplay concepts and stuff. But I can't half-ass sheaths. We can show what we have so far. I think I showed it off in the last stream. I'm just gonna make sure I do this work. Let's see. Maybe I'll just like familiarize myself with it, and then I'll take my errands run, and then I'll actually do it. Got the arming sword sheath. Great sword sheath. Is that just the same one? Is that why? Broadsword sheath. Arming sword sheath. Oh, let me browse to it. There we go. There we go. Assortment of swords. Oh, why didn't I saw assortment of axes, assortment of daggers. I clicked past this one. Okay, this one for these first, and then the armory. Arming sword sheath, broadsword sheath. So what I have to do is match falchion sheath. That's good. That's gonna match the falchion, so that should be easy. I have this browser here to look at them, and this browser here to look at the mesh. Third one for whatever for now. Okay, so basically, let's make sure. Let's have a weapons browser here to look at that. It's just called falchion. I haven't done anything fancy with it. Uses the falchion model, so it should be straightforward. Oh no. Parent class. Ah, arming sword sheath. Okay, cool. That'll have this in it then. That's why it has sword inherited. Okay. So I have to inherit from arming sword sheath. What about arming... yeah. Did I even do that one? Parent class arming sword sheath hand. Okay. Let's see if I have some logic on there. Yes, I do. On the hand. That'll change if the model is visible or not. Okay. Pretty straightforward. Maybe I'll do one, set it up, and then go in there and start tweaking the rotation. That's the hard part. Child blueprints, falchion, falchion sheath. Okay. Shit. Falchion from the army or falchion from assortment of swords? Oh yeah, the one from the armory is a scimitar, I think. Let me just check. Saber, scimitar. Yeah, that's the one from... oh, that's the one from assortment of swords. Oh yeah, that definitely looks like more of a scimitar. So the armory one is falchion. In that case, does that one even have a sheath? Or am I doing... I believe I should be doing the saber, the scimitar one, if I'm going in order correctly. Let's just check while I'm at it. Medieval armory, meshes, swords, falchion scabbard. Okay, cool. That would be the actual falchion scabbard. This is going to be a scimitar scabbard. Sheath. Figure out what's the difference with sheath and scabbard. Sheath versus scabbard. Oh, sheath is for anything. A scabbard is for a sword and stuff. Sheath is for a knife. Rifles maybe hold in a scabbard. I don't know. I might just uniformly call them sheath, and if you get like an upgraded one, it's called a scabbard or something like that. Okay. This one will have the falchion assortment of swords. exactly fit there. Maybe it's just a little bit off the side. There we go. Oop, I'm gonna add a little bit there. Oops. Geez, that's silly. They made it like the exact same size, not like a little bit thicker than it. There we go. Perfect. It's a tiny bit thicker. Okay. Go over the actor tags. Only accepted item tags. Scimitar. Okay. And model. Equivocal static mesh. Second static mesh. How do I change this? My headphones are El Diango. It's so weird. Make sure, yeah, you can still hear me. Okay, cool. Yeah, maybe like that. Coming off a little bit on one side. Cool. Okay. Okay, I guess I can try that. I have to add it to the weapon master. Swords. Scimitar. check it out. It's probably not going to be aligned to the hip. It would be nice if it does somehow automatically. I attacked it to save. Okay. Even when I have multiple content browsers up, I don't use them. Static mesh. Sword, I got them backwards. Damn. Okay, still gonna be kind of wacky positioning, I could tell that much. Okay, so only slightly wacky. Almost in the right position, a little bit upside down. I didn't tag the scimitar. Tags. Okay. Weird. And such a precise placement. I'd like it to be accurate. It looked good in the hand. Wait, did it? Yes, it does. It's facing the wrong direction, but it's... Second mesh offset has a little finagling going on already. And some of the same rotations from the other one. Let's see if that was it. There we go. Excellent. I just have to fix the rotations a little bit. That's not bad at all. That's pretty much right. That would rotate it a little bit towards the front of the scabbard. Now let's go to the sheath business. It's gonna have to rotate around. Oh, it doesn't have a fucking. That's right. I have to do that from here. It's so annoying. So this is just the left quip too. I don't know which one's X, which one's Y, which one's Z. It's world rotation or socket rotation. So I'll just check it for reference first. This is where it can get really frustrating. Oh, I did it the other way around for that. Okay. Let's see, it is, this one needs to be rotated as well. And then to the left if you're facing it. Oh, but I don't know which way is left, that's right. Try Z. 180. Oops. Like, there's gotta be a better way to do this. Adjusting snap offsets. I guess I could test it. Okay, that didn't seem to make a single difference. That's the left quip. Left hip. I want to test the other hip too. There we go. So Also, it's upside down and a little funky placement. I didn't save. Why didn't that change it? Oh, is it like adjusting it to be equivalent back to itself again? Some shit. I need to like unlock. It looks exactly the same. That's the gimbal lock prevention. That's why it automatically adjusts them, but I don't know why it's not actually working. Oh, this is scimitar itself. That's what I'm messing with here. There we go. Let's put the rotation. Oh, this is for left hip now. Okay. Alright, now I can be able to try. That's better. Okay, that flipped it upside down correctly. I just want to rotate it a little bit to one angle. So that was actually correct. That worked as I thought it might. This is not as much of a guessing game. This is good. So it's relative to its own positioning. That's the confusing part, probably. I'm trying to like rotate it in 3D space. Oh, perfect. Now I just have to adjust the positioning a little bit. Fantastic. Try that. If that's that easy, that's remarkable. That means I actually sitting down for a while on that was good. I mean, the rotation was the hard part. Okay, the X20Y is up that way. I mean, Y20 is up that way. Let's try this, and not as much. Perfect. A little bit too far. With like 7. Cool. And then I just have to test the other hip. Actually, I saw that already, that it was high. So I guess I could just, let me get the hip pouch. That one looks good though. I should give it some sort of like physics constraint. So it like bounces around with you rather than moving with your hip all the time. Looks a little awkward. Or maybe attach the socket to a different bone. That might make more sense. It'd suck to do all of that and then decide later on that I need to redo it. I wonder how easy it would be. Let me save this shit. Here's the altar. There we go. Make sure it's roughly the same place as it was before. So if I drag these to the spine... Oh shit, the rotation got all fucked. Why is that one all fucky? What? No, I'm not gonna save it. I'm gonna play, so I can just like undo that if I need to. But let's see what happens. Okay, so I have to redo the rotations, but now that makes a bit more sense, doesn't it? That looks better. That's where we wanted it to be snapped. Alright, so I'm gonna have to redo the 3 sheaths that I already did, but I'm glad I figured that out first. And I know which way to do the rotations in. Okay, so that's a bit of work, but I think that's way better. Not like rotating around constantly. Yeah, that's a bit of work. I'm going to do it this afternoon, though. I think I'm going to come back after grabbing lunch, picking up some storm windows that I got repaired. Good old house stuff. And yeah, I'll be back in like an hour or two. Do some mundane sheath work. I don't know if I'll stream. Maybe I won't, because it's pretty mundane. And then I can just chill. And just like, you know how it goes. I'm on here talking my head off. So, come by the Discord. Let's do that. I'm going to put a thing on the Discord invite. Invite people. Never expire. No limit. So, everybody please join. We have much convo and communication here. A lot of people talking about the new games. I didn't even talk about New World, or Conan Exiles, or anything. messages. You come by the Discord. See you later. Alright, yeah. Take it easy for now. Let's save this real quick. Okay.